Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Gigih Prayoga I'm from A class 2020 and my college student number is 205300020. Here I will present to you a video about smartphone and its distraction, students' difficulties in learning. The fast growth of technology has developed electronic devices such as smartphone that the smartphone function is not only limited for messaging but also allow us to have other long distance communication such as telephone and video call. Smartphone gave us many advantages in doing our activities, but we cannot just see the advantages only because there are many disadvantages from the smartphone. The question in here is why smartphones are a distraction for students in learning. And based on the question above, this video is used to find out the reason why smartphone becomes a distraction for the student in learning. Before we continue our discussion, I will explain to you the significance of my research. The first is for the students. It is expected to make students aware that using smartphones for non-class purposes can interfere the learning process. And for the teacher, it is expected to make teachers more assertive in giving permission to students to use smartphone in learning and make the learning atmosphere more conducive. The scope of this research is any discussion about smartphone and its distraction. The limitation is on the discussion about the reason why smartphone become a distraction on students' learning process. Okay, now we will discuss about smartphone and its distraction. The first is smartphone definition. Smartphone is a mobile phone that has the ability of a computer. So smartphone is a mobile device that has the ability of computer, but it has a smaller size, and we can bring it anywhere and everywhere. Smartphone provides the user with advantageous communication and computing ability than the traditional mobile phone, which is equipped with internet access, cameras with high quality, and management tools. And then smartphone distraction. Smartphone distraction began with the sound of the ringing when the class is started. So actually the smartphone is not really distract our learning process. But if we forget to turn off the audio notification of our smartphone, then when it rang in the class when the courses is started, it will be really annoying and disrupt the learning process. And then student texting and they are not paying attention in class. This is a very big problem for the students because the learning process or when the lecturer explain the material and they did not pay attention to the explanation and they just focus on their smartphone and texting, that's a big problem because they are distracted by their smartphone. And now we will discuss about the impact of smartphone distraction. The first is the instructor difficult to keep the attention of the class. Well, it's because the student focus on their smartphone, not to the instructor. The second, classroom learning is disrupted during texting. Yes, as I mentioned in the slide before, when the student is focused on their smartphone, they will not pay attention to their class. They will start to texting, and I think that's the kind of smartphone distraction and this impact. The third, student who use mobile phone in class score lower than student who did not use mobile phone. There are many research that discuss about this problem. The student who use smartphone while class, their score is lower than the student who not use it, because the student who use smartphone while class is started, they will focus on their smartphone, not at the class. On the other hand, the student who did not use smartphone in the class, they will focus on the learning material. And then the last impact is student who used mobile phone not able to recall much information from the lecture. So the student who focus on their smartphone when class is started, they will not pay attention too much to their learning material, and then they cannot remember anything about their learning material that already explained by the teacher. So the conclusion is using smartphone in class is can disrupt the learning process because the student will not pay attention to their lecturer. They will focus on their phone. They will do something that not related with their class, such as playing social media, playing games, also open web to play with. Then, if this habit is continuous, the student will get bad mark and their performance in studying will come down. And then I will explain to you the data that from this research. The data is the students from A20 and 20 class of English Language Education Department in Universitas PGRI Area di Bono, Surabaya. The source of the data is obtained from observation, interview, and documentation. Thank you for watching.